So two quick questions for you. Number one, do you currently live in the Villages or are you dreaming about moving to the Villages? And if so, are you a Walt Disney World fan or not? Let us know in the comments below. Welcome to Walt Disney World. Hey everybody, I'm Michael.
And I'm Tiffany, and welcome back to the Villages Experience. So, whether you're a Disney fan or not, if you live in Central Florida, you are going to have grandkids, kids, family, friends ask you, well, do you live close to Disney? Because everyone's going to want to visit.
Yep.
So, in today's video, we're going to give you some tips on visiting Disney and living in the Villages.
Ta-da! Thank you so much. Appreciate it. But before we get to our tips about Disney World, let's talk about the tree back here behind us. This is our first official video of March 2024. And what are you decorating it for, Tiffany?
St. Patrick's Day.
Can't wait. It's only a couple of weeks away. We are Irish Americans, so we invite everybody to celebrate with us on St. Patty's Day here in a couple of weeks. So that also got us thinking next month is April. And what does that mean for us?
Means our anniversary.
And then we started doing the math. It's a pretty big milestone wedding anniversary for us. How long have we been married?
I've put up with him for 30 years. Well, longer than that. I've been married to him for 30 years.
Exactly. And where do we go for our honeymoon?
Disney World.
So while we may still be newbies here to the Villages, we've only been in the Villages about 4 months. We've got over 3 decades worth of experience with going to Walt Disney World. And Tiffany actually has more experience than I do because she got to go to Disney World as a kid back in the 1970s, right?
Yep.
And I did not get to go to Disney World until we got married back in 1994. And for the last 30 plus years, we've pretty much been annual pass holders. You might be able to tell from the plethora of Disney Magic bands there.
And that's not even all of them.
Yeah, that's just the ones I just grabbed real quickly out of both of our cars. We raised our whole family. Well, we only have one son, so we're both only children. We have one son. Our son's 25, almost 26. So we took him to Disney World when he was 2 for the first time. And then when he came to visit us at Christmas just a few months ago, we all went together as a family to Disney World. So really neat when you take your 2-year-old and then your 25-year-old to Disney World. But last week, our annual pass was getting ready to expire, and we didn't know if we're going to renew our annual pass or not, but we decided we might better go take one last visit to Disney World, which then kind of triggered this whole idea of this video of giving you some tips, because whether you like Disney or not, like Tiffany said, someone in your family or your friends that comes to visit, they're probably going to want to go to Disney World.
So we decided to take our first little vacation out of the bubble, right? And do a staycation at Disney World. We haven't decided yet if we're going to renew our pass for multiple reasons. So we wanted to go just enjoy the magic one more time and help us make that decision. Yeah,
we had perfect, beautiful Florida weather last week. It was kind of that mid to upper 70s. The sun was shining perfectly. And one of the benefits of being an annual pass holder is they do give you special discounts to go stay at the different Disney World resorts. So where did we stay last week?
We stayed at one of the value resorts, and it was the All-Star Movies, which is one of my favorite. And we stayed in the Toy Story buildings for the first time.
Yeah, we've been here many, many times. We went when they first opened up. I forgot exactly when they opened up, but we've been to all the value resorts and some of the mid-level and the higher-end resorts as well, too. But yeah, the first time we ever stayed in the Toy Story with the big giant Woody and Buzz statues. So that was pretty darn awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yep. So, and then one of the benefits about staying on property is once you get there, the traffic was crazy that day, but once you get on property, you no longer have to drive around. So we jumped on the different shuttle buses, rode back and forth to the parks and stuff like that. So it was very convenient where our room was located to get to the main building to go get food or souvenirs or to catch the shuttle bus over to the parks.
While we were walking around at the resorts and in the theme parks, it reminded us a lot of the Villages and all of the theming that we see at the rec centers and the town squares. And it's like, maybe that's one of the things that drew us to the Villages, and maybe it's something that drew you to the Villages as well.
So that's why I asked you the question at the very beginning of this video was, number one, do you live in the Villages, or are you dreaming about moving to the Villages? And if so, do you like Walt Disney World itself and all the theming? because, I think one of the big draws for everybody is when you go to the different town squares, that they all are decorated and themed differently. I mean, we just went to the 30th anniversary celebration of Spanish Springs a couple of weeks ago. And so you got Spanish Springs, you got Lake Sumter Landing, you got Brownwood Paddock Square, you've got Sawgrass, which isn't technically a town square, but man, the theming they do there definitely reminds you of Disney World and makes you wonder, where did the Villages come up with these ideas? So we can't wait to see what Eastport's going to look like and what type of theming is going to go on there. So I'm betting that a bunch of you are kind of like us, that you just kind of like that overall the ambiance and just having that kind of that backstory and stuff. Because there's lots of active adult communities out there, but they don't really have much theming to them. They may have golf courses, they may have a beautiful clubhouse or something like that. But something that makes the Villages special and unique and magical, in my opinion, is all the over-the-top theming they do, not only at the town squares, but also each of the rec centers too, right?
Yes, I love seeing all the rec centers.
I mean, right down the road from us is, what's it called again?
What, Franklin?
Yeah, oh yeah,
With
Franklin.
all the watermelons?
Yeah, so it's beautiful and it's gorgeous. And then you have the Eisenhower Rec Center, which is, dedicated to our military. And we've only been to a handful of the major rec centers, but one of our goals on our channel is to visit all the rec centers and be able to take you along on that journey and show you all the themings. And then even the smaller ones have the theming as well too.
All right, so let's get into visiting Disney World from the Villages. Number one, how far is it and how do you get there?
Well, Disney World is probably from where we're at in the Villages. Now, if you're way up north, maybe a little bit further than us, but being that we're down all the way in the south, down in Lake Denham in the Dabney area, we're about 40 to 45 miles away. And one of the advantages for us is if you go out our main entrance down here, we're less than a half mile to the entrance to the Florida Turnpike.
Yeah.
So you could take the Florida Turnpike, and that's probably the fastest way to get to Disney World if there's no traffic jams.
Yeah,
but the other day when we left to try to pull out of here, there was actually a traffic jam on the Turnpike. So they were routing everybody off of the Turnpike down onto County Road, and we probably sat in that traffic a good 20 plus minutes before we could even just get away from the Villages. So it could take you anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours to get to Disney World from where we're located. And then if you're further north, it might take you a little bit longer than that.
Right, and Michael knows some back roads because we've gone over there quite a bit.
Yep.
So that helped us to get out and not be with the rest of the traffic that was still trying to find their way back to the Turnpike.
But the other tip is when you get close to Disney World, the traffic's going to get pretty busy again as well too. So just be prepared for that. If you've never been to the Central Florida area, the Orlando Airport, the Disney World, iDrive, all that kind of stuff, there's major traffic jams. So it could take you anywhere, like I said, from 45 minutes to 2+ hours.
Some people have asked if there's a shuttle to Disney World from the Villages. We have not found one. If you know of one, please let us know below. But we do know that there's some of those day trips that some of the companies take, like Workman or AAA. And I know they go to Disney Springs or maybe some of the parks. But otherwise, you need to drive your own vehicle to get there.
Or you could take an Uber.
Yeah, I wonder how expensive that would be.
Probably pretty expensive.
All right, so the next thing you might want to know is how much does it cost? So the prices at Disney fluctuate from day to day and throughout the year.
Right.
And so the day that we went, if you went to Animal Kingdom, that was the cheapest, and it was $154. And then if you went to Magic Kingdom, the most expensive ticket was $174 just for one day, and that's not with a park hopper option. So that means that that's the only park you could go to that day. You can also buy, they give you a little bit of a break if you want to buy a multi-day ticket. And then your other option is to buy an annual pass.
Yeah, and so for someone like us, a family that's gone to Disney World a lot, the annual pass just makes the most sense. And it's really cool if you live in Florida, you actually get a Florida discount. So let's talk about the 4 different annual passes that Disney World currently offers. Just like the ticket pricing, the annual passes have changed over the years, the name and the pricing and who's eligible for them and so forth. But what we're trying to decide right now is, do we renew? Do we trade down to one of the cheaper options I'm about to share with you? Or do we not even renew our pass because we're having so much fun here at the Villages? we really don't have time to go to Disney World like we thought we would. They changed the names about a year ago, and their most expensive pass that anybody qualifies for. You can live anywhere in the world, and you could buy the Disney Incredipass, which currently goes for $1,449. And it does allow you to go 365 days a year, or being this is leap year, you could have that bonus day and go 366 days a year. So most expensive, no restrictions whatsoever, right?
Right.
So we used to have that one when we lived in North Carolina because that was the only pass that we qualified for. The other 3 passes I'm going to share with you, you need to either be a Florida resident or a Disney Vacation Club member. So the next level down is called the Disney Sorcerer Pass, and that one goes currently for $999. And again, you have to be a Florida resident, or it's the only one that Disney Vacation Club members qualify for. But it does come with a few restrictions or a few blackout dates. So you can't go that week or two during spring break, and you also can't go the last 2 weeks of the year.
All right, and we don't want to go during those times anyway. It is way too busy.
Yeah, if you've never been to Disney World, I would not suggest your first time going during spring break or the last 2 weeks of the year. It is complete pandemonium.
Shoulder to shoulder, cannot move.
Yeah. If you thought the Strawberry Festival video that we did a couple of weeks ago, you thought that was busy, that's nothing compared to Disney World during the holidays.
So one more level down is the Disney Pirate Pass. And right now that's going for $7.99. So again, some substantial savings when you multiply it by 2.
Yep.
And that is for Florida residents only. No one else can purchase that pass except for Florida residents. And there are quite a few blackout dates, not only the holidays, but also some other peak times, especially during the summer, and some of those school holidays like Columbus Day and President's Day. So make sure that you look at the blackout dates, especially if you're thinking of taking the grandkids that might be coming on school holidays. And Michael will put a link down in the description to take you to these pages so you'll know. All right, after that, you get to the cheapest one, and that is the Disney Pixie Dust Pass. I like the name of that one. And it's $439. Again, only Florida residents can purchase that, and it's basically a weekday pass. So if you're retired and you just want to go visit Disney, that is a great option. And for $439, we just told you the price for the day tickets earlier. If you go 2 to 3 days in a year, you've covered the cost of an annual pass. So if you're a Florida resident and can go on weekdays, you can't go on weekends or holidays, then the Pixie Dust Pass might be a perfect option for you. Now, we keep saying that it's Florida residents only. So make sure you go to Disney's website and check the different ways that you can show that you're a Florida resident. They do have a couple different ways.
Right.
The easiest way is your driver's license. But there are a couple different ways, so make sure you go there and read that carefully. All of these are available to purchase online, so you can open a Disney account and purchase it online. That's the easiest way. And then you have it on your phone, or you can purchase a Magic Band, but you don't have to. You just have your online ticket on your phone and you can get into the parks. Or if you're one of those people that likes all your questions answered before you buy anything, you can also call Walt Disney World, and they have great customer service. You might wait a little while, but once you get somebody on the phone, they will answer all your questions. And then lastly, you can buy your tickets in person. There's a couple options there. One is at Disney Springs. They have a ticket office, so if you happen to be there to eat dinner or you're out with friends, that's a great time. Again, getting some questions asked, questions answered at Disney Springs, or you can buy them at the gate when you get to the park.
Now, here is the big dilemma for us. So once you become a Disney annual pass holder, they try to reward you, or again, entice you to renew it right before your pass expires. So you can renew your annual pass up to 60 days before your annual pass expires, or up to 30 days afterwards, and they'll give you a 15% discount off of any of the passes. So you could downgrade to a lower level, lower cost pass, or you could upgrade to one of the higher level passes. So since our annual passes expired last week and we have not renewed as of yet, this is the first time in a long time that we've not been Disney annual pass holders. So technically we have less than 30 days. We got till the end of March to make a decision. Do we renew and get that 15% discount, or do we not renew? So stick around and find out what we do in April.
And so another tip we have is that we mainly use the annual pass for the discounts and the benefits
Right.
that you get for it. And so even if you buy the Pixie Pass at the $439 or whatever it is right now, you get the same benefits that the Incredipass people get. So you get things like 10% off a lot of the restaurants, 20% off your merchandise, which can really add up. And we have found there's not many restrictions on the merchandise. I mean, the Dooney and Burke, the
Right.
Coach, like everything counts in those discounts.
Yeah, even their Tommy Bahama Disney shirts you get 20% off on.
You also get really good resort discounts when you're a pass holder, hence the staycation last week.
Yep.
We can get anywhere from 25, 30 to even 40% off resort rooms sometimes. And then we've also used the discount for Disney cruises. So different times of the year, you'll get offers as an annual pass holder for some pretty good deals on Disney cruises.
But you don't have to be an annual pass holder to get some of those similar types of special discounts on rooms or cruises. As long as you're a Florida resident and you're in Disney's system and you sign up for their emails, they will send you periodically throughout the year, they'll send you special discounts on rooms or the cruises. But the discounts may not be as good as the annual pass holder. Usually about 5% more than what you'd pay for the annual pass holder discount. So if you got a 35% discount for being an annual pass holder, you might only get a 25 to 30% pass for being a Florida resident. So lots of benefits of being a Florida resident and or being an annual pass holder. But let's play the what if scenario. What if you're not a Florida resident? What if you're not an annual pass holder? Are there any other special benefits like free stuff that you can do at Disney?
Right. So I think that's one of the best things. So if you have people here wanting to visit Disney and you're not sure you want to buy the tickets or go into the theme parks, there are so many things you can do for free. You can visit the resorts, you can visit Disney Springs. There's a lot of different things you can do to kind of feel that Disney magic and get that same ambiance without paying those ticket prices.
We got some big decisions to make in less than 30 days. Should we renew our passes or not? And if we do, would you like to see us do more day trip videos from the villages over to Disney World and maybe show you some of that free stuff? Let us know in the comments below.
And if you haven't yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and smash that thumbs up, in Michael's words, and share our experiences with other awesome people that might be interested in the village's lifestyle. We hope you have an awesome week, and we will see you in the next video.
That's it. I'm not re-recording anything else. That was good. I think
You
that
don't
was
want
good.
to try it?
We hope you have an awesome week, and we will see you in the next video. We're done.